Hi, my name is Jimmy Hunter. I'm 15 from Southbury, Connecticut, and today I'm going to talk about some issues regarding gun control, school shootings, etc. So I was in second grade. It was December 14th, 2012. You probably recognize that date. It's the day of the Sandy Hook shooting. So I live in Southbury, which is right next to Sandy Hook. I can drive there in 5 minutes. So it was scary because it was a real threat and it was really close. It wasn't just some weird talk about like, oh, that I guess that could happen. No, it was very close. I remember that day we were in class and it was approaching recess time. And the teacher said, we're not going outside for recess today. And they didn't tell us why. And everyone was like, what's happening? Why can't we go outside? I want to go on the playground. And so the teachers told us that there was a bobcat in the field and that's why we couldn't go outside. Obviously, I know now that there was no bobcat. But at the time, it was like a reasonable reason not to go outside. So just sat inside, all happy. And then they were like, we're doing a lockdown drill. We were like, oh my God, okay. And so we all sat in the corner, turned the lights off, just kind of chilled there for a couple minutes. They did not tell us anything. They didn't tell us why we were doing a lockdown drill. They didn't tell us the real reason why we weren't going outside. They didn't tell us that something so horrible was happening so close. And I'm happy they didn't tell us anything because I was in second grade and that's terrifying information to know, especially in the moment. I can't imagine sitting there and them telling us people are dying. Like, oh my God. Yeah, so I just kind of sat there, didn't think anything of it. Felt like a normal day. And then I got home and then my parents told me, like, there was a shooting at a school right next to you. Yeah, it was crazy. My school does not tell me it's a drill. Every once in a while, they'll be like, yeah, it's just a drill, don't worry. But usually they want us to take it as seriously as possible, so they don't tell us it's a drill. Yeah, it's kind of freaky sometimes because we have no idea what's happening. We have no idea if we're actually safe. Yeah, like, I'm very conflicted on this one because I'm very conflicted if they should tell us it's a drill, because if they did tell us it's a drill, then I don't think people would take it seriously. But if they don't tell us it's a drill, then we just get so scared, and it's kind of desensitizing us to that fear, so I'm not sure. I do remember one time in 6th grade, in my art class, we had a new teacher. It was her first year there, and it was our first year in the middle school. So it was like a couple days into the school year, we had a lockdown, and we all hid in the supply closet in the back, and we were all just standing there, and none of us knew if it was a drill, not even the teacher. She had no idea because she was new, she wasn't used to this kind of thing. And so then the principal was walking around checking doors and stuff, and so he like jiggled the door handle of the supply closet, and the teacher got so scared, and naturally that made the kids scared as well. It was wild. And that shows you that they don't tell us. Okay. So I do theater. That's my thing. And I've done community theater in Newtown for forever. So a lot of the kids that I've been in shows with were there that day at Sandy Hook. So I've really seen it impact people in big ways. Because these people, they've been changed. You know, a lot of my friends now work really hard for gun control, and they go to DC and they hold protests, which is so cool, and I'm amazed by them. Like, in a good way, obviously. And I'm so proud of them for being able to do that. Because that scares me, trying to put myself in that position to make such a big change. I should do that, but it scares me sometimes. But these people, they have this insane passion for it that I admire every time I see it. It just makes me so happy that they care so much about it, as they should. I've also seen it in like minor ways that you wouldn't think really affect their day. Like my one friend, I won't say her name, but I've done theater with her for a lot of years. And every year around Christmas time, she refuses to listen to Christmas music because they were listening to Christmas music in the classroom on the day of the shooting. And so she can't listen to Christmas music anymore because it just hurts. I think it's always in the back of my mind, but at this point, it's been 8 years since the Sandy Hook shooting, which was the first one that I really ever heard about. So at this point, I'm kind of used to going to school, and it doesn't really cross my mind that often that it could happen. I feel like it's kind of there in the back of my mind sometimes, but it's not the most prominent thing, so it doesn't really affect my day that often. I think I should, unfortunately. You know, I don't want to. That's not something I want to do. I just want to go about my life and not have to worry about that. But I think a lot of kids do that, and I think we kind of have to because of the world we live in. However, I don't. Even though I think I should, because it's a real danger. But my mind just doesn't really go in that place that often until a lockdown drill actually happens. Then I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? This is scary. Yeah. I don't think I do. I think a lot of people do, but I don't specifically. I think if there were ever signs of that happening, I would, like, my mind would start racing through all the possibilities of, like, what should I do? How do I escape this situation? How do I get out of this? But I don't usually think about that very often. If I'm ever in a situation where I think it could be a real threat, then I think about it because my mind just naturally goes there. But if it's not like super apparent to me, then I don't think about that often.